Hey guys, it's Ian McLaughlin with Ruoff Mortgage. Hope you all are doing extremely well on this Tuesday afternoon. Wanted to talk to you guys about what it costs to buy a home. What do I need to bring to closing? I get that question a lot, even up front at a pre-approval process when we don't have a property picked out yet. So I wanted to kind of break down that today. Talk to you guys a little bit about what's involved with buying a home as far as the down payment, the closing costs, escrow accounts, prepaids, all that stuff. So what I did is I printed out the closing disclosure from one of my clients that we closed a couple months ago, and I'm going to go through it. And now this isn't going to be in detail to what you might find for your specific home, but this will get you a good idea as far as what to expect. Okay, so we won't look at the closing costs, the actual dollars and cents involved in this, but we're going to look at each section and break it down and kind of explain to you what it means, why it's there. Okay, so the first thing is the down payment. Now the down payment is going to be product specific. If you are buying a home with a conventional mortgage, you can typically find a down payment program, or I'm sorry, you can typically find a 3 to 5% down payment on that program. Okay, 3% down. There's a first-time home buyer program for conventional loans that have 3% down. Also, if you're a repeat buyer, you don't own more than 2 homes, including the one you're buying, then you can use a 3% down program if you fall under the income restrictions in that area. So get with me if you are looking to buy a home, we can talk about that. FHA loans are 3.5%. VA loans for veterans are 0 down, so 0%, as well as rural development mortgages. USDA loans are 0 down as well. So if you're a veteran, no money down. If you're buying in a rural area, you don't have to put any money down. So the down payment, a lot of people understand that. It's available really easy in a Google search, or if you follow me, you will know what the down payments are. Most borrowers that I talk to say, hey, I save $5,000, I want to buy a $100,000 house. They're looking at probably a FHA loan, $3,500 right there. $1,500 typically doesn't cut it for the rest of the closing costs, and we'll break down why here. So the first thing that you'll see on this form is origination charges up at the top. Origination charges. You're typically going to see your lender charge you some sort of fee for doing the mortgage. So origination charges can be processing, underwriting fees, what have you. Now typical origination charges for a lender can really range anywhere from $800 to $1,200. I've seen them at 1% of the loan amount, so they can vary. So you can shop that. That's something to ask your lender. Hopefully it's me. We charge $825. So if you're working with us, it's a flat fee, $825 for any mortgage product. The second one on this list here is appraisal fee. Okay, your appraisal is going to be based on the type of loan product. It can range anywhere from usually $450 to $550, so you have to budget for that. The third thing, Section C, is services the borrower did shop for. And you can see it says title here. That's the title company. You get to shop title companies, so you get to pick your own title company, but typically you're going to work with the one that your real estate agent works with. Typical title costs can be about $1,200 to $1,500. So anticipate that as well. Now we get to another section here that says other costs. You'll see here it's government recording fees, right? Government fees. Recording fees in Michigan typically range about $135. So you have to budget for that as well. The next section here is your prepaids. So your prepaids are what you're going to be paying at the time of closing. That for your taxes and your insurance. And as well as per diem interest. You're going to pay some interest at the closing as well. So you'll pay your full year's insurance premium. You'll pay a prepaid interest. So from the day you close, however many days are left in the end of the month, if you close on the 10th of December and there's 31 days in December, then you have 21 days of interest that you're paying, or 20 days of interest that you're paying. And then you'll have some property taxes sometimes. Sometimes you'll see property taxes in there if the tax bill is due. Say the following month you closed in November. We have winter taxes due here in December. You can see property taxes on that as well. The next section is initial deposit into escrow. Okay. And I'm sorry if that's a little blurry. Initial escrow payment at closing. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to put some money aside for your escrow account. Now, if you put down 20%, you may have the option to waive your escrows. But typically, if you do not put down 20%, we're required to hold an escrow account for your taxes and insurance. So there's money set aside to pay those items when they become due next year. The last thing in the other section, a lot of times you will not have to pay this, but it's title owner's insurance. That's something that's negotiated up front. A lot of times the sellers are paying for that, so you won't have to pay for it, okay? So there's a lot that's involved with buying a home. It's more than just your down payment. It's closing costs, it's property taxes, it's insurance. So get with me early so that way we can set up a budget. Because again, a lot of people will come to me and say that they've saved up enough money for the down payment, but they don't know what to do to make up the ground for the other costs that are involved, which can be thousands of dollars. Escrow accounts can be 3, 4, 5, even higher. And they can be as low as $1,000. It just depends on how much insurance is, how much taxes are, okay? The things to do to get some help and assistance with this, you can ask for some seller concessions, which I will go into as a deep dive on a different video as far as how much you can get per loan product. But basically a seller concession is where you're asking the sellers to help pay for part of your closing fees, okay? They can pay for all your closing costs. They cannot pay for your down payment. All right. The other thing is lender credits. You can get credits from your lender. If you take a higher interest rate, typically there's some credits available there to help you out with closing costs, as well as my last video talked about MSHDA. MSHDA can help you out with the down payment as well as the closing costs. So there are some ways to get these fees cut down. In this particular case, and this is kind of a good one, you can see here that there's a borrower paid section and a seller paid section. Well, in this case, they negotiated and got most of their fees paid by the seller. So it's why it's fallen under the seller bucket, okay? They got a lot of seller concessions, so the sellers paid for a majority of their costs. They really only had to come up with their down payment and some other fees that were left over, okay? But again, get with me. Feel free to ask me any questions. Again, I'm gonna have a video that does a deep dive in regards to escrow accounts, does a deep dive into prepaid, so that way you guys can understand that. If I put that into this video, it would be 20 minutes long and you guys wouldn't listen. So feel free to shoot me a message. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as I have a new YouTube channel out there. Feel free to subscribe to that, please. Let me know if there's any content that you would like me to talk about. But otherwise, again, it's Ian McLaughlin with Ruoff Mortgage. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.